Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, we shall understand the types of adverb clause. Before that, let us understand what is an adverb clause. An adverb clause will always do the function of an adverb in a sentence. That is, it will give you additional information about the verb in the sentence. This means that it will tell you more about the action that is taking place in the sentence, like where the action is taking place, when it is taking place, why and how a particular action is carried out. And based on what information it gives about the action performed in the sentence, it is classified into different types. Let's look at the types of adverb clause and understand each of it in detail. Types of adverb clauses that we are going to deal with include adverb clause of time. It will tell you more about the time when the action is performed and hence can be identified with the subordinate conjunctions like since, till, until, before, after. Adverb clause of place will tell you more about the place where the action is performed and can be identified by the subordinating conjunctions like where, wherever. Adverb clause of reason will give you reason why the action is performed and can be recognized by the subordinate conjunctions like since, as, because. Adverb clause of condition will tell you the condition upon which the action can be performed. It can be recognized by the subordinate conjunctions like if, whether, unless. Adverb clause of consequence will tell you more about the consequence of the action in the sentence. Now, let us understand with the help of example. Let's take adverb clause of time. He has not written to me since he left the country. Now, identify the subordinate conjunction here. Yes, you are right. Since is the subordinate conjunction here. If you ask the question, since when has he not written to me? You get the answer as since he left the country. So, since he left the country becomes the subordinate adverb clause of time because it tells you about the time period since the action has not been performed. And he has not written to me becomes your main clause because it makes complete meaning on its own. Let's take another example. When you have finished your work, you may go home. Now, identify the subordinate conjunction in this sentence. Yes, you're right. When is the subordinate conjunction here? Because all WH question words serve as subordinate conjunction. It means that your subordinate clause will start from when. Now, identify the fragment which makes complete meaning on its own. Yes, correct. You may go home makes complete meaning on its own. So, what is the main action in the sentence? Yes, the action of going home is the main action. Now, which part tells you more about this action? Yes, right. The part when you have finished your work tells you more about the time when the action of going home can be performed. Hence, when you have finished your work is subordinate adverb clause because it is telling you more about the main action in the sentence. And since it is telling you more about the time when the action can be performed, it is called as subordinate adverb clause of time. Let's take one more example. They were commanded to wait till the signal was given. Now, identify the subordinate conjunction here. Yes, till is the subordinate conjunction. Means your subordinate clause will begin from till. Which part of the sentence forms complete meaning on its own? Yes, they were commanded to wait forms complete meaning. Means it is the main clause. Now, if I ask the question when to the main clause, till when were they commanded to wait? I get the answer as till the signal was given. So this part becomes your subordinate adverb clause because it tells you more about the action of waiting. And since it tells you more about the time till when they have to wait, it becomes subordinate adverb clause of time. Let us understand adverb clause of place. They can stay where they are. Identify the subordinate conjunction here. Yes, correct. Where is the subordinate conjunction? Now which part is making complete meaning on its own? Yes, you are right. They can stay makes complete meaning. Therefore, it is the main clause. Now if I ask where can they stay, I get the answer as where they are. So this part becomes your subordinate adverb clause of place because it is telling you more about the place where they can stay. Similarly, for next example, you can keep it wherever you like. If I directly identify the main clause and ask the question where to it, like you can keep it is the main clause because it is making complete meaning. So I ask, where can you keep it? I get the answer as wherever you like. So this part becomes your subordinate adverb clause of place because it is telling you more about the place where the object can be kept. Please note, you can always ask the question where to the main clause to get subordinate adverb clause of place. Now let us understand adverb clause of reason. As he was angry with her, he didn't utter a word. Now let us identify the main clause first. Correct. He didn't utter a word is the main clause because it makes complete meaning. Now if I ask, why didn't he utter a word? I get the answer as he was angry with her. Therefore, this part becomes subordinate adverb clause of reason because it states the reason why he didn't utter a word. Please note, you can also go by the method of finding the subordinate conjunction first, as that will also give you the correct answer. Let's take another example. He thinks because he is rich, he can buy justice. Now, which is the main clause here? Yes, you are right. He thinks he can buy justice is the main clause because it makes complete meaning. And if I ask, why does he think so? I get the answer as because he is rich. So this part becomes your subordinate adverb clause of reason because it states the reason for his thought. Now let's take the next type, adverb clause of condition. If it rains, we shall stay at home. Which part makes complete meaning? Yes, correct. We shall stay at home makes complete meaning. So it is the main clause. On what condition we shall stay home? If it rains. So this part becomes your subordinate adverb clause of condition. As I had told you earlier, you can also go by the method of finding the subordinate conjunction first. In this sentence, if is the subordinate conjunction and your subordinate clause will always begin with a subordinate conjunction. Let's look at another example. I won't pay it unless he sends the bill again. Now here, as you know, unless is the subordinate conjunction. And if I ask the question, on what condition shall I pay it? I get the answer as unless he sends the bill again. So this part becomes your subordinate adverb clause of condition. Let's take another example. You must go whether you hear from him or not. If I ask on what condition you must go, I get the answer as whether you hear from him or not. So this part is your subordinate adverb clause of condition. Let's take another type. Adverb clause of consequence. Let's consider the first example. He spoke in such a low voice that only few could hear him. Now, what was the consequence or result of his action? Yes, you are right, that few could hear him. Hence, this part is your subordinate adverb clause of consequence because it is telling you the consequence of his action. Let's take another example. He is such a good man that all respect him. Now, if I ask, what was the consequence of him being a good man? I get the answer as that all respect him. Therefore, this part is your subordinate adverb clause of consequence. Let's take one more example. The Romans built in such a way that their walls are still standing. Now again, what was the consequence of their action? Yes, that their walls are still standing. So this part becomes your subordinate adverb clause of consequence. Thank you for watching the video. Do comment on the topic that you would like to have a video on further.